Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my podcast. If you haven't watched my last episode, a quick little life update, just because it is important for today's episode. Um, I just recently got into a relationship for the first time in like 5 years. Not saying that I haven't dated around in between then and like had experiences and like little mini boyfriends, because I have, but this is my first time being a girlfriend in like 5 years. So that's important if you haven't listened to any previous episodes and this is your first time joining. So I've always been around healthy relationships in my life. And I think that is the reason that I have such high standards for what I expect from a boyfriend, because my brother and his girl fiance are literally perfect together. Like they are amazing. I love them. Everything I want in a relationship is them. Similarly with my mom and dad, they have set a great example of what marriage and love should look like, and they have a beautiful marriage, and it has made me very closed-minded to having anything less than that. So now that I'm in a healthy relationship, which I am in, he's amazing and I love him. Um, I'm realizing there are a lot of issues that like I have that I didn't realize I had and didn't expect to have in a relationship, which has been pretty frustrating to come across. So, another thing about, for context, that's important is that this relationship that I'm in is long distance. He lives in Texas. I live in California and like Nevada area. So, yeah, it's another whole challenge on top of that. And I'm sure if he was here, we'd still have different issues and things come up. But I think it's a little heightened and a little bit harder. And the things that I'm reacting about and like getting upset over are things I probably wouldn't care about if he was here with me and we weren't doing distance. So let's get into it. Something about distance, and honestly, in any relationship, but distance especially, all you've got is communication and trust. And the second that that's broken, like there is no relationship that you can build off of, really. So he's really emphasized this to me that like I need to communicate how I'm feeling about things just as much as he does. And like we need to have these open conversations, because even if it seems like it's a problem to bring up and you just want to avoid it, which is something I normally would do, is just like not bringing anything up that bothers me. And then I just avoid it and let it boil up until like I'm just like, I'm done. And that is very much me. And he's gathered that by now, that I'm very quick to cut people off. And I'm really trying to see these like hiccups. I don't even want to call, I hate to call them fights because they're not fights, because we're not fighting. It's just like things that come up, that like hard conversations that have had to be had is the best way to put it, because we're not arguing, we're not fighting. It's like we get frustrated, but it's like we work through it every time. And it's things that are going to come up in a relationship, especially a very new relationship. There are little things that I think it's because I miss him and like I'm hyper fixating on things. And like I haven't been with him in like almost a month now, that like I'm struggling with. And like I feel crazy. And I thank him all the time for having the patience with me, because I think I'm giving him a lot of grace and having patience with him as well in a different way, where like he kind of slips up and does something that like kind of irks me, or I'm like, oh, like I don't like, let's not do that. And like I don't really want to talk about the examples because like they upset me. But I give him grace where like he's like, okay, I didn't know that. If this is what you need or what you don't want me to do, or this is what you do want me to do, like I'm glad you told me. Now I know. So I've learned to give him a lot of grace and have patience with him, because we're learning about each other and like our needs in this relationship. And, I thank him all the time for giving me that same patience that I'm giving him. Um, because it's a completely different thing. Like this is like I give him patience because I'm like, oh my God, you fucked up. You shouldn't have done that. And I like freak out. And I'm like, I'm gonna break up with him. Like world's fastest relationship. Like I've literally had that thought in my brain, just because I'm like, that's like my normal ways to like feel better about something that I'm anxious over, upset about, and like not just talking about it and like communicating your feelings. So I give him a lot of like kudos and like I respect that he can put up with like my crash outs as well, because I also, he is, how do I put this? He has been trying to heal my trust issues and like some mini traumas that I have from the past and like past relationships that he's trying to fix and like heal me from. And it's all issues that have been created by someone else, and it's not because of him. And that's where I just feel so bad and guilty sometimes, because I'm like, you've never given me a reason to like think this. Like he's never lied about anything like significant. Um like he's not giving me any reasons to like worry or like question anything. It's actually a healthy relationship. Like I am in my first like real healthy relationship where like I shouldn't be worried. He's not giving me reasons to be. And then like in the back of my mind, it's like the unfamiliar, the, what's the word? Because a healthy relationship to me is unfamiliar. Your like nerve system, what is it? Is it nerve system? Doesn't catch up with like what's going on. And it still like triggers something inside to like think, oh, this is too good to be true. Like something's wrong, even though like nothing's wrong. And so these patterns are something I'm really working on like breaking, and like not reacting so much to like little things and thinking it's the biggest deal, and overthinking things, because I've never been like that. I never overthink. I never this, I never that. And I'm just realizing I have some things that I need to work through, and I'm trying. And something that I found very important about trying to like heal whatever this fucking attachment style is, because I couldn't even tell you anymore what it is. I used to be avoidant. Now I'm like, is it anxious? Is it both? Like, I have no idea anymore. I've lost my cards to speak on that, because I have no idea what's going on in my brain. Disorganized, is that one? But in order to heal this attachment style and like my trust issues and like getting through it, which is something I'm really trying to do because it's worth it for this guy. Like, I really love him and I want to get through this for him, for our relationship, and for myself. And something I've found, I've just discovered and come to realize is that I have put a lot of emphasis on the communication between us. And I've almost become dependent on that when I'm having these like crash outs where I'm like, I don't need him to like talk me through it and tell me everything's okay. Actually, I can do that for myself too. Because where my brain is going is not rational. I should be able to talk myself down from that. And I shouldn't, he's not going to be able to fix me. He has made it clear that he is going to help me, and like he wants to be there for me. It's amazing. But what I'm realizing is like he's meeting me halfway. He cannot do all of this on his own when it's really like my issues. So he can be there for me and help me through them, but it's really something that I'm realizing I have to practice on my own as well. And it is just retraining the way that my brain works, because it's still just in like kind of like fight or flight all the time, just because like that's how it's been the past like however many years of just like trying to protect yourself, thinking, oh, like this, oh, that, like my husband would never do that, like goodbye. And what I found helpful is like talking to my family about it. And when I say it out loud, I kind of catch myself and realize like, oh, like you don't actually have a right to be mad. Or like I'll say out loud, like I'll call my brother and I'm like, do I have a right to be upset with this? And he's like, honestly, like, no, but if you're upset about it, you obviously have a right to be. Talk about it with him, but like, don't go in like guns blazing, because like it's gonna be fine. Just like communicate your feelings and like move on. And I'm like, oh, okay. Um, and a lot of things that like we've experienced, I've like communicated with like my brother and his fiance, and they've been super helpful and kind of like sharing their own stories that are very similar to when they started dating. Of like Bella would be like, oh, well, Michael did this when we first started dating, and I was so upset with him and so mad and blah, blah, blah. And like, those are things that were so behind the doors for them that like, I didn't know that they experienced any problems in the relationship. I knew that they struggled with distance because they were also distanced when they started dating in college, but I didn't realize like it was the exact same stuff that like me and Jack were going through. And so like I don't know. It kind of was like a breath of fresh air where I'm like, okay, like I've always looked at your guys' relationship as perfect. I didn't realize like you guys had anything like that come up. And so hearing that and like hearing that they're engaged now as of a couple weeks ago, it's like, okay, this is normal. I think I have really high standards, like I said in the beginning of this episode. And I think I put way too much pressure on everyone but myself. Not that I should pressure myself, but you know what I mean? Like I need to do better too, just as much as like he does. And it's like I'm learning, I'm self-aware, and it's easy to talk about, but then like it is just a habit to trick your brain again and not overthink and not stress out and not get upset over little things that are really nothing, but because we're experiencing distance, it feels so heightened and so big and so dramatic. I've always been pretty close-minded about things, and that's one thing like I love about my story with Jack and like us starting to date, because I was so closed off to it. And like I do talk about this on my previous episode, like I was not interested. I was like, no, like where's this going to go? Like no. And I was just so close-minded to it because of the situation of like distance and like whatever. Um that I was just like I wrote it off so quickly, and he still continued to pursue me, and like look at us now, we're dating. And so he was super unexpected, and I'm really trying to like fall into the like not being so close-minded and being a little bit more open-minded about a relationship, because it's a learning process, and that's something like I'm trying to grow into. Um and I honestly just never expected it to be hard, because I always say like if he's the one, like it shouldn't be challenging, it shouldn't be hard, like you guys would never fight. And it's like that's actually not true. And that's something I'm learning. And like I even asked him last night, I was like, do you think we're like toxic? And he's like, no, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, and I just like, that was another one of my little like rabbit holes that I went down. And then like, I afterwards like went to the bar with my friend, and I was like, we were chatting over a drink, and she was like, you guys are not toxic, like at all. And that's coming from me. And she's like, I like toxic relationships. Like, you guys are a very healthy couple. Like, and I love to see it. Like, she was like, just another outside perspective that I was like, okay, like, you're right. I need to like stop overthinking this, because like we aren't toxic. It's actually the opposite. Like it feels weird because it's too good, and it's actually a very healthy relationship. Anyways, I think being in a healthy relationship is just new, and it's just different, and it's going to take some time for like my nervous system to catch up with like what's happening in front of me and what I'm experiencing, because it is a new thing to be a part of. It's one thing to see it and like see your friends and family have such healthy, great relationships. But what I didn't realize is that being around it is different than being in it. And I'm sure we're going to have more hiccups come up and have more hard conversations that we need to have. And I know I have a lot to work on, and I know that he's learning too. And I'm just excited that we're doing it together. Um, Even though I do have my own individual work to do as well. All right. Well, thank you for listening to my podcast, and I'll talk to you guys soon.